He gonna knock out Shakur, miss me with it. He gonna beat Shakur. Lopez gonna beat Shakur. No, he ain't. He ain't gonna beat no damn Shakur Stevenson. Nope. Not gonna happen.
Tim Bradley has thrown down a challenge that nobody in the boxing world seems able to answer. Figure out a way to beat Shakur Stevenson.
How the hell do you beat some damn Shakur Stevenson? I'll wait. How you beat Shakur Stevenson?
Bradley's declaration comes at a perfect time. Just days before Stevenson puts his undefeated record and WBC lightweight championship on the line against fellow American Teofimo Lopez. The showdown is scheduled for January 31st at the legendary Madison Square Garden in New York, where Lopez will be defending his WBO super lightweight title for the fourth time. This represents a significant step up in weight for Stevenson, who dominated at lightweight in his most recent appearance. That last outing saw Stevenson deliver what many consider his finest professional performance to date. He completely outclassed Mexican contender William Zepeda this past July, defending his WBC lightweight crown for the third consecutive time in a manner that left no doubt about his superiority. The victory showcased everything that makes Stevenson such a puzzle for opponents to solve, and it set the stage for this upcoming mega fight.
On the contrary, please tell me, how the hell do you beat Teofimo Lopez? How you beat Teofimo Lopez? Because there's a blueprint out to beat Teofimo Lopez. Ain't no blueprint out to beat no damn Shakur Stevenson. Lopez don't know how to beat Shakur Stevenson. Ain't no damn blueprint. But I tell you who got a blueprint on how to beat Lopez. That's Shakur Stevenson. He know how to beat Lopez. Yeah, Lopez don't know how to beat him. Hell no. Ain't nobody figured it out yet. Nobody. The man is undefeated. Talking about, I'm seeing some guys saying, he gonna knock out Shakur Stevenson. Come on, stop it. Stop it. When the hell the last time that Lopez knocked anybody out? I mean, he hit Claggett. Well, Claggett, yeah. He hit Claggett with the kitchen sink. And Claggett ain't go no damn where. Shit, I mean, come on. When was the last time this man knocked somebody out? Come on. 135 when he was bigger than everybody? Yeah. That was it.
Bradley didn't hold back when discussing the contrast between the two fighters heading into this clash. While he acknowledged that strategies exist for defeating Lopez, he emphasized that Stevenson presents an entirely different challenge. According to the former champion, there simply isn't any roadmap or game plan that has proven effective against Stevenson's skill set. Bradley went so far as to suggest that Lopez himself lacks the answers needed to crack the Stevenson code. Despite all his experience and talent, the stakes couldn't be higher for Stevenson. If he manages to validate Bradley's confidence and emerge victorious, he'll capture a world title in his fourth different weight class before even reaching his 29th birthday. That kind of accomplishment would firmly establish him among the elite pound-for-pound fighters currently active in the sport.
Let me tell y'all one more thing, man. Timing beats everything. Timing beats everything. Yeah. Beats power, beats speed. Timing beats everything. It don't matter what you doing that day. Timing. Yep. Get out the way. Timing. Oh, go ahead and take that. Timing. Yeah. Let me move over here. Timing. Yeah, that's what it takes. Shakur Stevenson, hey, he the best at that. He the best at that. Explode in with them combinations. Yeah, you gonna hit nothing but air. I promise you that. You gonna be, you in there gonna be fighting Casper the Ghost. Yeah, that's what you gonna be fighting. It's Casper the Ghost. You ever fought a ghost before? You about to fight one and coming on the 31st. Teofimo Lopez and his damn fans. Yeah, y'all gonna be very disappointed after this match. Y'all gonna be mad as hell. Y'all gonna say, damn, why did I even pick Teofimo Lopez? Yeah, y'all gonna be praising Shakur Stevenson because you're gonna see greatness on the 31st. That's what the hell you gonna see. You gonna see boxing greatness.
Eddie Hearn, the promotional mastermind behind this event through Matchroom Boxing, has his own perspective on what fans should expect. The British promoter sees this as one of those rare matchups where both fighters bring such high-level skills that predicting an outcome becomes nearly impossible. Hearn described the potential dynamic as resembling a chess match in its opening stages, with both men carefully calculating their moves and looking for tiny openings to exploit. According to Hearn, both Lopez and Stevenson possess the kind of precision striking and intelligent footwork that makes for compelling tactical warfare. He anticipates that the scoring could be extremely difficult for judges, with numerous rounds potentially being too close to call definitively.
Who do you fancy?
I think it's a great matchup. I think that Shakur wins, but I also think it's a very tough fight. Two very talented, two great athletes, two very tricky customers. Going to be interesting to see what kind of fight plays out. You know what I mean? Because they're both guys with great IQ. But I think any fight with anyone in, I would probably always favour Shakur Stevenson. I think he's a generational great talent, and I believe he wins this battle.
Regis Prograis offered a much harsher take on Lopez's chances in this fight. The former super lightweight champion focused heavily on what he perceives as significant mental weaknesses in Lopez's approach to fighting. Prograis acknowledged that Lopez has tremendous physical gifts and athletic ability, but he argued that psychological fragility will ultimately prove to be his undoing against someone as tactically brilliant as Stevenson. Prograis pointed to a concerning pattern in Lopez's career where his performance level seems directly tied to the magnitude of the occasion and the profile of his opponent. Against marquee names and on big stages, Lopez has shown he can elevate his game to championship level.
He wins it comfortably. I think, Shakur, I think the thing is about Teo is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You can see in some fights he's struggling. Teo does struggle. Now he does come up for big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles in. He does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Teo does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, I think Shakur's going to break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. It might be close. It might be 2-1 or something like that. But then after that, I feel like Shakur is probably gonna start stepping up, and Teo's gonna try to hit him, and it's not gonna work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, and that's the ones that hurt the most when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit him. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is gonna beat him comfortably. Not a knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds. For sure.
Claressa Shields, the multi-division champion who attended the initial press conference between the two fighters, added her voice to the chorus of predictions. Fresh off preparing for her own undisputed heavyweight title defense against Frankhon Cruz-Dern in Detroit this February, Shields took time to analyze what she witnessed. She anticipates an extremely competitive battle but ultimately gave Stevenson the edge. Based on his more complete skill set, Shields praised Lopez for his athletic gifts and valuable experience at the championship level. However, she declared Stevenson the superior overall fighter when comparing their diverse abilities and tactical intelligence. The outspoken champion, who frequently refers to herself as the greatest woman of all time, highlighted several key advantages that Stevenson brings into this matchup.
My thoughts is that's going to be a very competitive fight. I think that Teo is very athletic. He's very experienced, but Shakur is the man. Shakur is hard to beat. He's skilled. Shakur is skilled. Man, the dude got power. He can fight any style. He's a thinker. He's 5 steps ahead of you. Whatever you think you're going to do, Shakur 5 steps ahead of you. So I look forward to seeing this fight. I think it's going to be good, but I feel like Shakur is going to come out on top. He's going to win. And hopefully Teo don't have his hands down and he get caught slipping, because Shakur has been showing some power.
Is this like a Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns type of fight? This is this era's Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns?
We got two slick fighters. No.
It's not that way.
No, it's like a, I don't know.
Benitez and the Ray
If you
Leonard?
want to say like a Pernell Whitaker versus Sugar Ray Leonard type of deal. Like, that's how I look at it. Like,
They're both athletic.
yeah, both athletic, both sharp, both really good on their defense, both just very explosive. Like, it's one of them fights. Like, you talking about Marvin Hagler? He used to come and get you. Like, Shakur can do that. Now you don't know what he's gonna do for this fight. You don't know, but I know he's gonna do whatever he got to do to win.
Oscar Valdez brings unique insight to this discussion, having experienced Stevenson's brilliance firsthand when they met in the ring back in 2022. Many observers believed Valdez represented a legitimate threat who could potentially hand Stevenson his first professional defeat. Instead, Stevenson delivered a thorough beating that included dropping Valdez in the 6th round. Drawing from that painful personal experience, Valdez offered specific guidance for Lopez regarding mental discipline and strategic commitment. He stressed that Stevenson's style creates immense frustration for opponents, and succumbing to that frustration has proven disastrous for numerous fighters. Valdez emphasized how crucial it will be for Lopez to commit completely to whatever game plan his corner develops and execute it with unwavering focus for the full 12 rounds.
If you go off paper, I would say Shakur Stevenson, but I would hate to say that because I can see Teofimo Lopez doing the opposite, and then it's gonna be like, I thought, people asking about this, thought Shakur was gonna win it. Teofimo won. Like, no. I think Teofimo Lopez, it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion, because Teofimo's been proving it before. And I gotta emphasize this, if someone can pull it off, it's definitely Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez doesn't do it, I don't see who's gonna beat Shakur Stevenson. I don't see another fighter who will beat him. As I know I said Pitbull, I think because I gave Pitbull came with some problems, but I wouldn't see no one else beating him unless Shakur Stevenson goes to 147, and then he's obligated to have some competition with I don't know, Ben Conner and all the other welterweights who are doing it.
Rolly Romero chimed in with enthusiasm about why this matchup has generated so much excitement in the boxing community. He pointed to the impressive credentials both men bring to Madison Square Garden, emphasizing that these aren't just any fighters. What really captures Romero's attention is Stevenson's incredible ring intelligence. He expressed genuine excitement about watching these two supremely talented athletes finally settle their rivalry inside the ropes. The anticipation has been building for months, and Romero believes the fight will live up to the hype.
I think it's a great fight.
Yeah.
I think it's a great fight. You'll really see, because at the end of it, they're both Olympians. They're both multi-division world champions. Teo is an incredible fighter, and Shakur is an incredible fighter. Shakur has a really high boxing IQ and a very. Shakur coming out. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good fight. I like to see it.
Anthony Cuba captured the sentiment of many boxing fans when discussing this matchup. According to Cuba, the real winners when these elite competitors finally clash will be the fans themselves. He painted a vivid picture of the contrasting styles, describing Stevenson as possessing razor-sharp precision in everything he does. Cuba characterized Lopez as bringing an unpredictable, hard-to-solve quality that makes him incredibly difficult for opponents to figure out. He suggested that Lopez's best path to victory involves maximizing that slippery, elusive style that has served him so well throughout his career. Ultimately, Cuba believes the entire fight comes down to one fundamental factor: which champion enters the ring with more hunger and desire to prove they're the best fighter in the world.
And what about Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson?
That is a great fight, and I think the fans will win on that one 100%, because two top-tier fighters like that, it's just going to be fireworks the whole time. Shakur's so sharp, and then Teofimo so random. He's really sharp, but he could be so elusive if he gets into it, and I feel like that's his best state, and I feel like that would be the best way for him to beat Shakur Stevenson. So I honestly think it depends on who wants it more, honestly, because that is two great champions going up against each other, and that's going to be a great fight.
James Toney provided perhaps the boldest and most specific prediction of anyone, forecasting that Lopez will stop Stevenson late if the fight reaches the championship rounds. Toney emphasized that Lopez simply looks too big and physically imposing for Stevenson to handle over the full 12-round distance. While acknowledging that both fighters possess exceptional abilities, Toney suggested the only other possible outcome would involve Stevenson spending 12 rounds running around the ring in what would amount to a boring defensive display.
And Teo won't beat him.
Teo won't.
Teo will.
Teo will beat him.
Yeah, man, come on, dog. Dude has been sitting around on news. They said I never had no footwork. My footwork, I've learned more than you ever learned, dog. I forgot more than you ever learned. You know what I'm saying? Man, see, I'm not gonna get into this childish shit today. So I don't want to talk about a little clown.
Bro, I didn't know that he was.
I made a step by one time. When they said he gonna fight Tank, and I guess he got mad because I said Tank will win because Tank is strong and maybe faster than he is. And he all behind his panties, and it is what it is. So I'm just saying, dog, watch your mouth with me, dog. I don't play.
Mikey Garcia offered an assessment filled with uncertainty, acknowledging the central mystery that makes this fight so intriguing. Garcia questioned which version of Lopez would show up on fight night, noting the dramatic inconsistency that has defined the Brooklyn fighter's career. The version of Lopez who destroyed Vasily Lomachenko and defeated Josh Taylor represents an elite-level fighter capable of competing with anyone in the sport. However, the version of Lopez who struggled through other performances raises serious doubts about his ability to handle Stevenson's consistency and precision. Garcia, a 4-division world champion himself, pointed to size as a potential advantage for Lopez. He noted that Lopez carries more natural bulk and has firmly established himself at super lightweight, while Stevenson is moving up from the lightweight division.
Great matchup, tough fight. I want to see what Teofimo shows up, because sometimes it's Teofimo, the great fighter who beat Lomachenko, who beat Taylor. That's a tough Teofimo. But then we've also seen him, in off nights.
Right.
And so that's kind of the only doubt, the only question that I have. Which Teofimo's going to show up.
What do you think he has to do to kind of deal with a guy like Shakur Stevenson? How would you approach a fighter like Shakur Stevenson if you were Teofimo Lopez with the attributes that he has?
I would think Teofimo, being that technically he's a bigger fighter, bigger size, he's been at the weight class a little more, and then just maybe built into it more. I would think he would have to use that, size as an advantage. But it's hard to say, because Shakur Stevenson, good at what he does.
Keyshawn Davis took a different approach by focusing on specific qualities that give Stevenson a serious edge in this matchup. He highlighted the intense focus that Stevenson maintains throughout his fights, never allowing distractions or emotions to compromise his game plan. Davis praised Stevenson's off-the-charts boxing intelligence as weapons that could prove too much for Lopez to overcome. In Davis's estimation, this fight will expose a significant skill gap between the two champions. He believes Stevenson operates on a completely different level than Lopez when it comes to the nuances and subtleties that separate good fighters from great ones.
I think that's another fun matchup, man. I feel like Shakur is going to beat him fairly easy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Tio know exactly who he's facing. And I just feel like Shakur is just so focused, so locked in. But not only that, I just feel like his IQ is just on a whole nother level. Shakur IQ is crazy, for real. And he's going to show that, January 31st, he's going to show that he levels ahead of Teofimo, for sure.
The boxing world now waits to see whether Bradley's bold assertion holds true. Can anyone beat Shakur Stevenson, or has he truly reached a level where no current fighter possesses the blueprint to defeat him? Lopez represents the most dangerous test available, a champion with size, power, and athleticism who has proven capable of beating elite opposition when he's at his best. But as Bradley and many others have noted, being at your best might not be enough against someone as complete and consistent as Stevenson. The answer arrives on January 31st at Madison Square Garden.